Hey, welcome to Keight Krafts. I'm Keight. Today I would like to share with you my make for the Buzzing By with Lawn Fawn, a Fab 5 hop and giveaway. Let's get started. To kick things off, I am using the Stitch Cloud Frames die as my old and the just plain awesome paper airplanes and mice as my new. And for the Stitch Cloud frame that I have here, I've gone ahead and cut it out 6 times out of some heavyweight cardstock. And what I'm doing with this one is I am sticking some 1/8 of an inch score tape around the edge, and I've cut out a piece in spiffy speckle paper in the blue color. I can't remember the name of it, but we're going to make a window shaker. Yes, a window shaker, because I love a good shaker, and this cloud frame has been staring me in the face for quite some time, and I finally had the perfect excuse to use it. So once I've done going around pulling off all the release tape, I'm going to take my piece of acetate, line that up, and give that a good pat down. And if I need to trim off any bits, I'm going to grab my scissors right here and inspect my handiwork. So there wasn't too much that I had to trim off. I mean, it would have helped if I had the outside-in stitched cloud die to go with this one, but I do not. It is on my ever-growing list of old products that I need to add to my stash. I think you guys can feel me on that one. I mean, why else would you have come to this channel for this fabulous 5-hop and giveaway? Speaking of which, I should take a moment to let you know what the big deal is, if you don't know already. Welcome to the old and new Fabulous 5 Lawn Fawn Hop and Giveaway. This hop is generously sponsored by none other than our favorite company, Lawn Fawn. Each of my crafty friends participating in this hop will be sharing creative ideas using old and new Lawn Fawn products. We hope that you find inspiration with each video you hop along with us. To enter the giveaway, please leave a comment at each stop on our hop by June 17th, 2023 at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Not sure what to comment? A simple hello will do. One comment at each stop will count as one entry to win one $25 gift certificate directly from, you guessed it, Lawn Fawn. They are such an amazing company. I think that's why we love them so much. The winner will be announced June 21st here on the Keight Krafts channel, and you will have 1 week to claim your prize. So, I hope you enjoy hopping along with each of us. I know I will, and I can't wait to see what all the other girls made. I'm so excited. Anyway, back to the show, shall we? So all I've done here is I've taken the frames and I'm using some glue and I'm just layering them on top of each other and then letting them sit to dry, so that way I have my well for my shaker bits. Next up, we have the rippled stitched background die that I have taken some spiffy speckle in the blue, and then I'm just going around the edges with this Distressed Oxide in Stormy Sky, which is just a lovely color. Next, I'm taking my iridescent fine tech watercolors in the blue sapphire, and we are going to give it a little bit of an iridescent speckle effect. I just love me some good splatter. How about you? And here we have some of the images that I will be coloring in. Now my N1 marker is kind of dying, and I think some of my C markers are kind of dying too. Oh, sorry, that's Nova. I've got the door closed while I'm recording this, and she has to butt in every time I do, so... Anyway, all I'm doing is coloring a few images in here, and I will be coloring the rest of them off camera. Now, I don't use all of the images in this, because I only need a certain amount, but you'll see. All the paper airplanes are just too much fun not to pass up. And while we're on the subject of the paper airplanes, what did you guys get from the mini release? I had to restrain myself. I kind of wanted the bees, but I'm not a huge fan of bees, truth be told. I know they're really popular, but I was never a bee kind of gal, although I do like honey. Yes, I do like a good jar of honey, but I couldn't pass up these mice, and I know that this was just a mini release, and I had to buy some time. So I'm hoping that I will have a little extra money to go back and buy a few extra from the little mini release, like the hot foil plates, which I'm kind of kicking myself right now for not getting, but it is what it is. So all I've done here is I've stuck some glue down and I've pressed that cloud frame down to my card, and then I'm taking the leftovers from the spiffy speckle that I cut out the frame with initially, and I'm just going in and tucking all that in. And then I've gone ahead and taken some paper airplanes and I've popped them in the well, and then here I'm just taking some 1/8 of an inch score tape, and I'm going to prop these guys up on some acetate so they kind of move a little bit, not really, but like, if you shake the card a little bit, you'll see the paper airplanes and the mice wobbling a little bit. And this was kind of a last minute idea that I thought, because the cloud is really big and I kind of took up a lot of real estate with it, and I probably could have done a 5x7 card, but I really wanted to use that rippled stitch background because, let's face it, it's an awesome background die. I mean, come on. So again, I'm taking some 1/8 of an inch score tape and I'm going around the edges of my die cut here with the acetate window and just kind of strategically placing this tape, thinking, oh, maybe I'll just do that with some glue. And I just keep going on with the tape. So I'll go around the edges and I will peel that tape off. And just as I'm about to think that I want to put it on there, I'm going to grab some of these guys. Now, these guys are some recollection beads, like micro beads. Just in the clear, I have them in my stash. They remind me of bubbles. I think they're really cute. So I've gone around with some glue because you know how I like to double stick everything, like it's going to fall off the face of the earth if I don't. And then I'll pat that down. So next up, I've gone ahead off camera and I've cut out the word plain with some Henry's ABCs, and I've gone ahead and cut this out twice, both out of white, and then I'm just going to kind of do a gradient effect with these two different reds. So I'll have the darker red on the bottom, and then I'll blend in some of this lighter red for the top, and as the ink dries, the blend kind of evens out a little bit more, so you get more of that gradient, which I really like. So like I said, I cut them out of white twice, and I left one to do the background shading bit, the backdrop of the letters, if you know what I mean. That way it kind of has the red pop out a little bit more on the background die. I mean, I thought about doing black, but I don't know, I kind of felt like the black would have been a little bit lost on this card. So I thought the white kind of won me over. And that's all I'm doing, is just gluing them down and letting them stick. And then I'll go ahead and I will figure out how to put this on my card. So the reason for cutting out the word plain was I omitted it from the actual sentiment in the Just Plain Awesome stamp set. I thought, it would be kind of cute just to have the full sentiment all in one, but then I really kind of liked the pops of red with it, so I kind of strategically stamped this all out and then cut it out with some banner dies, and then that way I can cut down the banner die stamped images and then put those off to the side, as you'll see here in a minute. I fussed with this and fussed with this and fussed with this. I never have an actual plan jumping off the cliff into cardland. I never have a plan. I always just wing it most of the time. Sometimes I actually do consider a plan, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This is one of those times where I was just so excited to create for yet another Fab 5 hop and giveaway that I was just on a roll. I wasn't stopping, I was just going to keep going, and that's what I did. So I've got the just and the awesome cut out, and you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. So once I've got everything all lined up, I'm going to trim off the little bits that I want peeking around the edges from my letters here. And I've just got everybody stuck down with a little bit of low-tack tape, and I'm just kind of trimming off the edges here to kind of hug around that E, and the P was kind of a no-brainer to cut. So I'm going to take these and make sure that I've got enough room for everybody, because what's that saying? Measure twice and cut once? Sometimes I don't. This time I did. because this was just so exciting to put together. I know I keep saying that, but you guys don't know how long I've been looking at this stitched cloud die and thinking, how am I going to use it? Because it's big, but, you know, it's not too big. And we've got these little paper mice, and I'm just excited to be able to use them together. So I've got that all lined up and glued down, and then next I will take the little banner dies that I've cut, and I will glue those down as well. Now, if I was smart, which I wasn't at this point, I probably would have taken a little more time to carefully plan this out, but it is what it is. It's a homemade card. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as I had fun putting it together, right? That's all that really matters in card world. I mean, you make stuff, it comes out of your head, through your hands, and into paper, and how magical is that? You know, even when you do get glue all over your project, even still, it's still magical, and I'm kind of really glad that, you know, you guys came along for the ride. You know, I really hope that you guys have a fun time looking at everybody's projects, because I know I'm excited too. That's the day of, I sit down and I take a minute to watch everybody's creations. I mean, I'm so lucky to have such awesome crafty friends in the Lawn Fawn sphere that, you know, want to get together and use their time and their creativity to, you know, praise this company that we all happen to love. And yeah, it's just, it's such a great community. I've experienced so many positive things, and I really enjoy giving back to everybody like this. So, what do you think? What is your favorite part about the craft community, and the Lawn Fawn community at that? Every time I think about stumbling, or how I stumbled into the card making community, kind of reminds me of an old song from the 90s. It was a Blind Melon song called No Rain, and the music video was of this young girl in a bee costume who just didn't fit in anywhere until she found a field of bees. And ironically, I didn't get the bees this time. So I've got this extra little mouse hanging out here, and I thought I'd throw on some of the tape runner that I have and a little bit of glue on his tail and on the tip of the airplane, and then I'm just going to take my reverse tweezers and I'm going to pop him down right in the center like he's wee. And here you have my finished card. I hope you enjoyed today's make for the Fab 5 Hop-In giveaway, generously sponsored by Lawn Fawn. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.